here from, you guessed it, right here in the Cathedral of Model Building. I'm happy to be with you again. We're going to do another unboxing. Now, what you're going to say is, does this guy do anything but unboxings? Is this all he does? Does he actually build models? Yes, I build models all the time. And I build tons of models. I built, what was my number last year? I built 44 models last year. Can you imagine it? And right now on the workbench, this is an unboxing video, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm working on. This is the MRAP by RFM, but don't let that fool you. RFM is really a trumpeter kit. That's exactly right. If you want your stress level to go up, if you want to have sleepless nights, if you want to consider quitting the hobby of model building, then go ahead and build this kit, because that's exactly what you'll be considering. This is not an easy kit. And it's going to come out beautiful, don't get me wrong. I'm no slouch. I'll figure it out, and I've been figuring it out, but I'm just warning you, these RFM kits, it's the only one I've ever done, and I thought when I opened the box that it was going to be something special, and because it looked really good, but then as I got into it, started going through the instructions, I realized that it was a trumpeter. And dear old Mr. Wong, the instruction engineer over at Trumpeter, was ready to throw me for many, many, many loops, and he's not done yet. I would say we're about 75% of the way done on this thing. 75% done, I would guess. And this thing is a complete. It's a. What would I say? It's a nail biter. It's a nail biter. That's what I would say. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. When I get this thing done, I will certainly share it all with you. And then we also have been building live here on YouTube, so please join me every evening as I build live here on beautiful YouTube. We were on TikTok, but TikTok's turned out to be a complete disaster, so we're moving everything over here to YouTube. And I hope it's going to be around for a long, long time. I am tired of playing social media games, trying out this, trying out that. Oh, this is just like TikTok. This is like that. YouTube's been around forever, so I have some confidence that my career here on TikTok will be much more stable, we should say, much more stable than over on TikTok. So I'm going to be here, and I hope you'll join me. And if you like what you see here, please support my little channel here. Subscribe, hit a like, share it with your friends and neighbors, maybe even get your wife and your grandparents and your grandchildren to watch. I do a lot of fun. I build a lot of different models, all kinds of subject matter, cars, planes, boats. I build professionally, so I build just whatever anybody wants to hire me to build. And if they're willing to listen to me cuss and complain and throw things, which I do on almost every single model, then in the end, if we're still friends, you'll end up with a really good model. But anyway, today's an unboxing video. This is not a vintage. I've been doing a series on vintage model kits, and the response has been fantastic, and we will do another one of those tomorrow. We'll be doing those every single Friday on here on YouTube, but I do it from Harry's Hobby Shop in Norton, Massachusetts, every single Friday, and I'll be back there again Friday, and I'll do another unboxing of a vintage kit. Now, that doesn't mean I'm looking for kits that are fantastic and go together, you know, perfectly and have the best molds. I'm looking for anything that's just interesting and historic. So, like, I love the 1970s model kits that you remember as a kid, and it's fun to look in the box and see what they were like, see if they are like what we remember when we were kids, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I think people are really enjoying that. I'm going to keep doing that. But also, when I get a new kit in from a customer, I'm gonna unbox it and show you what I'm going to be getting into, and then we'll build it here on YouTube, both live, and then I'll post update videos as I move along. I've got a bunch of interesting kits coming up that I'm going to be building for several different people and model companies. So I love this. I love building professionally. I did it as a hobby, and now I do it professionally, and I'm very, very grateful, and I really, really enjoy doing it. So anyway, today's unboxing is one. Now I gotta say, I've never built a model from this company. I have a couple models from this company, but I haven't built them yet. I've heard great things about it, especially on their armor kits. So I've never looked inside the box. We're going to open it together, and we are going to see, if it's worth all the hype. And this is a big scale kit. This is a 1/16 scale Pz.Kpfw.1 Ausf.A, and in beautiful 1/16 scale. So let's get into this thing. Let's see what she's all about. If Tacom is really worth all of the hoopla that I've heard from a lot of other model builders. And we're going to check it out. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I built a lot of models, so we're going to find out. I'm going to at least give my opinion. Now, listen. I want to be clear, and I know you're going to come back. I'm going to pronounce things wrong. I'm going to say parts or things that they're not. But that's me. I don't claim to sit here and be an expert about every single thing. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be an armor expert, or a World War II expert, or an aviation expert, or a car expert, or a blimp expert, or a train expert, or a horse and buggy wagon expert. I am just a model builder. I build professionally. I follow the instructions. Most of what I build is straight out of the box. I do some scratch building of wiring and things like that, but primarily I build out of the box. And a lot of people, you should scratch build. Listen, I want to prove to people that you can build a really convincing model right out of the box. You don't need all the bells and whistles and photo etched and resin parts. Now you can certainly add all that stuff, and I'm not going to tell you not to do that, but you certainly can. And I do it all the time. I get asked to add different engines and add in more detail, and that's great. But my primary objective when I build it as a model is build it pretty much right from the box and follow the instructions. And where my expertise comes in, not that I'm trying to toot my own horn, toot, is my painting and weathering. I love painting and weathering. I come from an art background. I've been an artist for all my life, and one of the key components in model building, or any art for that nature, is understanding color and understanding the layering of color. And how do you achieve different effects by layering of color? And to me, that's what brings a model to life. And yeah, you can just paint it, follow the instructions. You paint this tan, paint this black, paint this olive drab, paint this red, whatever, and you're going to come out with a nice model. I'm not going to tell you that you're not. If you really get into, in my opinion, into serious model building, and building models that are pieces of art, which I consider my models are artwork. That's what I consider them. I don't consider them a model kit. I consider them art. And you achieve art by doing different techniques, and most of it is painting and understanding color. If I could give any advice to a person who's getting into this hobby, I would study color theory, because it's going to bring you to the next level of model building fairly quickly. Now, what does that also mean? It means you have to work hard at it. You have to study it. You have to do a lot of testing. And that's a really important aspect of this. You're not going to get these things perfect the first time. You're not even going to get this perfect doing this for years and years and doing hundreds and hundreds of models like I have. I'm always learning. I'm always trying new things. My biggest rule is that there are no rules. People tell me all the time, I get comments all the time, well, you should have done it like this and done it like this. And what I say to all of you, you build your model, I will build my model. I will build my model the way I want to build my model, and you build your model the way that you want to build your model. And that's what makes this hobby of model building so great, is that there are no rules. There's no rules. I could paint this thing orange and pink if I wanted to. But that's the way I want to do it. That's the way I'm going to do it. But I am after realism. I am after accuracy, and I am after making something that is dynamic, that somebody will hold on to it for a long time and maybe pass it down to through families, through generations and generations. That's my whole goal, is that I'm hopefully creating a piece of art for my customer, my clients, and I hope that when you watch me build a model, that you can maybe pick up some of my techniques and you can apply them to your model building. But I encourage you to try your own things. That is, to me, very, very important. Try your own things and don't let anybody tell you that you're doing it wrong, because there is no right or wrong. It's the end result. If the end result is something that you are happy with, that is all that matters. So I get asked all the time, hey, can you tell me what you think of my model? I don't do that, because I believe that if you put your heart and soul into a model kit and it's wonderful to you, then that's all that matters, and it's going to be wonderful to me. So I don't judge people's model builds, and I really don't believe in the whole competition thing. You'll never see me enter a model contest, because it's all interpretive. And at the end of the day, if it makes me happy and ultimately makes my customer happy, then that is very important to me. But whatever's important to you is important to you. We're all different people, and as long as you enjoy this hobby and have fun and share with friends, that is the best thing. And that's what the Cathedral of Model Building is all about. It's about building a community, and that's what I did on TikTok, and it was a very successful community of people that were like-minded and love model building. We have a lot of fun here, and they love seeing me get mad and upset and throw parts, because I'm real on here. I don't pull any punches. I don't care if somebody sent me the model for free or a model company sent me a model. It does not matter to me. I am going to be honest. I'm going to tell you what I think, right or wrong, in other people's eyes. It's my opinion. And if you get any help or entertainment from that, then I am happy at the end of the day. And I hope you'll come back again and again and again, because I'm always going to give you honest reviews, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And I think you'll get a lot of joy in seeing me frustrated and angry, because it happens a lot. It happens a lot on all kinds of kits. Doesn't matter what it is. Tamiya, Zukimura, Hasegawa, Trumpeter, Hobby Boss. I get mad at all of them. I do. And I'm a former designer, toy designer, so I kind of understand the molding process and things like that. So sometimes as I'm building models, I get angry at the people that are engineering some of this stuff. But that's just me. So I'm never here to say one is better than the other unless I truly believe it. And we're going to see if this Tacom is one of them. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. So let's open the box. First, let's look at the box. Beautiful, beautiful box art. Very reminiscent of Tamiya. I think Tamiya's been around a lot longer than Tacom. I'll have to do some research. Tamiya was started in, I believe, 1936. So that makes it a very old model company. I think they started with toys first and then moved into model kits, but they've been around a long, long time. So a lot of people, I don't think Tacom's been around as long as Tamiya or Hasegawa. Hasegawa is the oldest. 1932, Hasegawa started. But apparently Tamiya has the formula down as far as box art for model kits, as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of people have copied them, and it looks like Tacom has kind of copied them as well. So if you looked at this and didn't see this logo, you would go, oh, look at that, it's a Tamiya kit. But no, it's not. It's a Tacom. So we got, let's see what's on this side. We got some paint versions of the kit here, different paint options. On this side, you got more box art, beautiful. And then you got everything that's included in the box. And is that a photograph? Yep, that's a photograph right there. So let's get into the box, shall we? We're going to open this thing up and take a look. Okay, so I have adjusted the camera a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Again, beautiful, beautiful box art. And we'll see, hopefully the model equals the box art. So let's open her up. I'm going to put that over here to the side. Everything is in, now I have seen Tacom kits before, so this is typical. They put in this nice cellophane. If you love model building, my favorite thing in the world with models is unwrapping the cellophane and looking at the parts, and we're going to do that right now. So these are not sealed with a staple, like to me is always sealed with a staple, which I never understood, because when you're taking the parts out of a Tamiya kit, you could scratch the plastic, which I have to admit I have done. Now I'm looking at the reverse side. Let's look at the top side here. Already, I'd have to say that I love the molding. The molding is beautiful on this and has very, very fine texture for the weld seams. And that is just beautiful. Let me see if I can adjust some light here a little bit. You have a slight texturing on here, which I always love. Very nice, and you got beautiful weld lines, very accurate, very beautiful weld lines. Everything is molded extremely well. The one thing that you'll see right here, I didn't know where my camera was for a minute. You see the screw heads, beautiful molded screw heads. So right off the bat, I can tell you that that the molding is really good, and I don't see any flash so far. The one thing that I will say on the reverse side, and I hate this on every model kit, is the pen marks. I hate pen marks, injection pen marks. Can't stand them. So I got to sand all that, unless I have the hatches closed, and then I don't need to sand these. But man, I am a stickler when it comes to injection pen marks. So I never like that. And there's ways around that. And I don't know. That makes that. I mean, that's certainly not going to ruin the kit for me. It's still a beautiful kit, and all model companies have that same problem. The only company that I've seen that I've never experienced any injection pen mark problems with is Pz.Kpfw.I. They have, you're going to always hear me say high things about Pz.Kpfw.I because their kits are absolutely beautiful. This is molded fantastic. Look at the tools and look at the machine gun barrels. Machine gun barrels are beautiful. Now I will drill these out just a little bit more. But those are that's really nice. And the tool, the bolt cutters over here are molded extremely well. I mean, everything is molded extremely. I love these big kits. The last 1/16 scale that I did was the 1/16 scale Trumpeter T-34 Russian tank, and that kit was fantastic. But like all Trumpeter kits, it's the instructions that hold you up. You could build the Trumpeter makes beautiful kits, especially the newer ones. Some of the older ones are not that great, but the new Trumpeter kits are out of this world with molding and everything. They've really done a great job with molding, and but it's their instructions that kill you. It's the instructions that Trumpeter. I wish they would get their instructions. Mr. Wong over there at the instruction factory and the instruction department at Trumpeter and Hobby Boss is really screws things up, and I don't know what his problem is. This is beautiful too. I love the mines. See that? See the mines, and they even have the raised writing on the mines. That is beautiful. Beautifully molded. No flash whatsoever, which is a good thing. But you do have injection pen marks on the reverse side, which is okay. You're not going to see a lot of that stuff. But sometimes if a hatch, like we were showing earlier, you see both sides of it, especially if you want to open it up and there's injection pen marks on it. You got to remove those. You have to. Because nothing says I'm a plastic model kit like injection pen marks. Again, same. So we have two duplicates of the same sprue, like on most tanks, because you have the wheels and the idlers and all that's the same on each side. So we have two sprues for those. I was expecting a lot more sprues for this kit. We have another duplicate. I love opening cellophane. I don't know what it is. It brings me back to my childhood. You know, they don't wrap the model boxes in cellophane too much, which is a bummer. If I were doing my own models, my own model company, my own model kits, which one day I hope to do, they're going to be wrapped in cellophane. So I don't need to show you both of these, but again, the molding is just terrific. Terrific. I don't see any issue. And if the molding is this good, that usually tells me that the model kit fit will be pretty good. The only exception to that rule that I have found, the model company that made the best molding that I've seen, Sukimura matches them by the way, but was Wingnut Wings. Their molding, I opened that box, I about fell over how beautifully they were molded. But when you got to building it, oh my God, at least for me, complete disaster. Terrible assembly on the Wingnut Wings. I mean, I managed to do it, but I don't know what these are. I have no idea what these are. I keep going over here because I'm used to having the camera over here. I'm sorry. You can say, hey, what is this dope Pope of Plastic doing? What is he? Is he high or something? No, I'm just not used to the camera being in this position. I don't know what these are. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like I said earlier in the video, I am not an expert on all the parts. All I do is build the model. I follow the instructions and I build the model. You know what? What more do you want from me? Don't come to me, you know, wanting, you know, historical reference and all this other stuff, you know, and answer every question. I don't speak German. I don't know how. I didn't work in the Panzer factory, so don't ask me. I'm just going to follow the instructions. Look at the texture on the top part of the hull. I think that's the hull. I would imagine that's the top of the hull. But yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is going to be a gorgeous model when it's done. Okay, so now we're going to get into, here is, I don't know, it's part of the hatches. Again, everything, I don't need to open all, I mean, I guess I can. I don't know. I mean, why he didn't open the, I didn't get to see the front hatch system. Well, there you go. There it is. Don't say I didn't open everything. And I don't profess that I'm a videographer either. So a lot of people on here, man, they know how. They are experts at, you know, editing and all that stuff. I am not. I'm going to be the first to admit to you. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm 56 years old. Here is the turret. I do know that this is the turret. That's one thing that I know. I do know that this is the turret. And again, you got beautiful welds all along here. You have a slight textured surface, which will hold the paint beautifully. You have all the little screws. Beautiful. I don't have any, so far, I don't see any complaints, except for the injection pen marks on some of the inside of the hatches. This is the lower hull. I do know that as being a complete tank expert, that this you call the lower hull. Again, molded beautifully. Beautiful. This is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous model. Now here is the potential disaster with any tank. Is the treads. Nobody has figured out a tread system except, I will tell you this, the best tread experience that I have building tanks, and I've built a lot of them, is the Trumpeter T-34 1/16 scale. Had the easiest treads that I've ever worked on. I had the tread, I'm not talking about painting and weathering, but I assembled the treads, I mean, less than 15 minutes. It had that snap fit system, which was fantastic. It was just went together like nobody's business. And I flew through those things, and they were beautiful also at the end. Now these, I have no idea. We will see as I get building. Now let's look at this now. We got a little bit of photo etched. Look, I don't mind a little bit of photo etched. And of course, I love, you know, when they include cables. A lot of this stuff, I use my own materials for this stuff because, yeah, they're making it out of metal. Yeah, it's realistic because it's metal. But sometimes I can do better cables with certain kinds of rope and things like that that are, you know, woven fabric versus metal. Because sometimes the metal doesn't take paint well. You have to prime it with a metal primer and paint it, and it chips off and stuff. So sometimes I'd rather use a fabric type cable. But hey, it's cool that they give it to you, and who knows, maybe we'll use it. And what I was going to say about photo etch is that I am not a fan of photo etch. Photo etch immediately says to me that the model company is lazy and isn't investing money in really good tooling. So I'm not a big fan. Do I use it? Yes, I do. Especially when, you know, if the kit calls for it, that's what I do, and it's for a customer, so of course I'm going to do it. But I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just not a big fan of it. Sometimes it's just they're doing photo etch for the sake of doing photo etch. I don't know why. Most of these things, I'd say probably 90% of them can be molded. But anyway, I don't want to go on a rant. I'm not going to sit here and rant. Here's your instruction, beautifully printed, beautiful paper, nice semi-matte paper, or we could almost say it's matte paper. Here's your general kind of do's and don'ts and hoochie, whatnots and hoochie coos over there. Here's your sprues at the beginning, which is good. So you see what you're using, what you're not using. If they have any parts that you're not using, you can look there and get rid of those at the very beginning. You're going to start with the lower hull and the wheels. God, I hate painting wheels for tanks. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just a pain in the ass. It's usually the biggest pain in the ass, excuse my language, of the entire kit is painting all the rubber on the wheels. And then you weather it and you barely see it anyway. Anyway, so you get into the lower hull, more of the suspension. This kit has working suspension, so that should be a treat to put together. Oh, that's what those little pins are for. We were looking at in that bag. I said I didn't know what the heck that was. Well, here it is. The pins go into the treads. Oh, God. So they're kind of like the real thing. Then you get into your upper hull, all your upper hull. These look like very nice instructions, but I've been fooled by Trumpeter many a time where I look at the instructions and go, oh, these are nice instructions. Then you start building and it's a complete freaking disaster. Mr. Wong rears his ugly head. Anyway, so here we go. It's just, I mean, look, it's typical tank building. Here we got a color, what is this? Oh, your color paint guide. Isn't that nice? Beautiful. Boy, I tell you what, Tacom knows how to do instructions. That's a beautiful, beautiful instruction sheet. And here's some of your, you know, up-and-coming things that you can order and build. You can order from Tacom. And there's the end. That's the end. What are my thoughts looking at this thing? Overall, very positive. This looks like a beautiful kit. I've built enough kits to know that, like I said earlier, if the model company is investing the time to mold the plastic as good as this is molded, then I would say that this is probably going to be a very, very nice kit. But I can't, you know, I'm just visually looking at it for the first time, so I can't say, oh yeah, run out and get this kit. Run out and get it, because it's going to be great, because I've been playing to it.